From WNYT, Albany, in HD. This is Forum 13.
Welcome back to Forum 13. I'm Phil Bailey. The annual Freihofer's Run for Women isn't until the end of May, but it is time to start training. The 5K run for women only in Albany is on May 31st this year. We are joined by two trainers and coaches and runners, certainly, Kristen Hislop and Patrick Lynskey. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
For joining us. Okay, there are a lot of runners who run every day. But there are others in the Freihofer's run who really, that's their only run of the year, right?
Correct.
And so what are the reasons to start training now? Because they might be saying, listen, I'll go for a jog on the 30th and then I'll be good.
Well, it's never too early to start training, and it's, you know, the idea that we want to help make this a part of the lifestyle. You know, running is a lifestyle. It's not just something you can, I mean, you know, you want to do once and then not do until a year later.
Yeah.
You know?
Good way to avoid injury?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's one of the things, too. A lot of people go out and they'll say, okay, I'm going to do this run. It's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to do it. They go do the Freihofers. Their sores can be the next day, and they say, forget it, I'm not running anymore. So if they have a progression plan to take them to the race, they feel great at the finish line, then they turn around and say, hey, what's next? I'm ready to go.
It's also, I find, when you work that hard to get in shape for something, then you start looking around for other races.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen, I worked this hard. I'm not going to waste this, right?
Exactly.
Right. I'm going to go find something else to run well in.
And then it's the whole experience, too. And especially for women, to have a race this big in our backyard that brings in elite runners, you know, and then the fact that they've trained together with a whole bunch. I mean, typically we have 400 women sign up for the program. So they've trained together with a lot of other women, and they get to see them on race day, and we treat them specially on that day. There's a special tent. You know, they walk away, and they're like, I got to go do this again. I'm going to find another race. And we give them tips on how to choose races.
And what we've actually found is that they'll form groups outside of the training program.
Yeah.
And once the Freihofer's run is over, they'll continue to run together, and they'll continue it through the rest of the summer. You know, I'll go to a race in August, and I'll see, you know, 4 or 5 of them from our program running together, and
they make friends.
Just doing it. They make friends, and then they continue to you know, embrace the lifestyle, and they go to the next thing, maybe do a 10K, maybe do a half marathon.
Yeah. You make a great point, though, because if women, if they don't participate in other races, should understand Freihofer's, it's a big deal even to the top women, women who go to the Olympics and that sort of thing. Because really, there are very few races only for women. Generally, even in big races,
right,
the men got a lot of attention because they're the first one across the finish line, and the women are mixed in.
Right.
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 And this one, it's just women.
And the fact that the women come and they do the school program, you know, they're in the community, and they're wonderful women who, you know, come and race, and they want to share their sport. They want to inspire other girls. We've got a lot of really good high school and collegiate runners in the area, so then they participate, and so to be able to partake in something like that is really huge.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about training. The 5K is 3.1 miles.
Yes.
There are certainly longer races, but if you haven't run 3 miles and you go out and try, you're probably not going to make it that day, right?
Right.
You might make it, but you're going to certainly know
be happy.
that, you know, you're going to feel it the next day for sure.
It does take training.
And it does take training.
It does, yeah, it does. And especially to feel good and to, like Patrick said, make it a lifestyle, right? And that really is our goals, because we want to get people, we want to get them active and moving, and a 5K, and I love it when Joan Benoit Samuelson says it. She comes in, gold medals for the marathon. She says, I love the 5K. It's doable. You can keep training. You can make it part of your life. You know, you start to train for those longer races, and it takes time. It takes dedication.
It's a great introduction into the lifestyle.
The 5K. I mean, you can do it. Pretty much anybody can do it.
Anybody can do a 5K.
But prepare, as you say, so it feels a lot better.
Yeah. And, you know, our job is to get you to that start line.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the program is designed to do. We know that once we get you to the start line, you're going to get to the finish line.
And as you say, you know, I mean, Joan Benoit Samuelson comes every year.
Yep.
And, I mean, and she's an Olympic champion, an Olympic marathon champion, and a real legend in the sport. But she likes coming to the Freihofer's.
She loves
it. Yeah. And you can run with her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the great things about these races.
You can go to the expo, you can hang out with her.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other elite women, too. I mean, they're there, you know, they're running around at the start, and they do their own warm-up and stuff. But, boy, if you're standing at the start and you're standing with Olympians and world-class, you don't get to do that in
Can't
most
play
sports.
football with Peyton Manning.
I love that.
Right.
I'm glad you said it and I didn't have to.
Yeah. So, okay,
It's true.
you guys have a plan. You're here for a reason because you have a plan. There is a way to start training now, and you'll really enjoy the race, and you'll develop a healthy habit, and you'll make friends. And you can do this all through the site, all through the Freihofer's Run for Women site, right?
Yes, FreihofersRun.com. We have a training challenge that's starting on March 17th, and they can go there and get all the information for that.
All right, and we're going to provide a link, by the way, to the Freihofer's site at WNYT.com. Try to make this as easy as possible, and we certainly are big supporters of the Freihofer's Run for Women. It's a great event. I just like going down and watching it and get a little jealous every year. It's like, seriously, I can't run? But anyway, okay, so tell us about the Runner's Challenge.
Well, the training challenge, it's a 10-week program. It's loosely based on the Couch to 5K program that's very popular. We have a beginners portion that's closely tied to the Couch to 5K. A little bit of running, a little bit of walking, reduce the walking over time, increase the running to get you there, so that you're running a total of 3 miles up to the event. We also instituted an intermediate program and an advanced program over the last couple of years. So if you've done the beginner program last year, you can do the intermediate program this year. If you did the intermediate program this year and you want to go for a certain time this year, we'll get you to there in the advanced program.
So this, I mean, it's great information and hand-holding on how to train. And it will apply to running every day.
Well,
I mean, you guys know what you do. You're doing.
Yeah.
If you're aiming for a particular race, you know what you'll have to do. Okay, I'll build up. I'll run a 10-miler on Wednesday. Then I'll, build down a little bit, and I'll run my race on Saturday. Or if it's a marathon, I'm going to build up to maybe 20 miles the Saturday before the marathon, and then run the marathon next week. But without that knowledge, you really don't know where to start.
Right.
That's what you guys are supplying. You're both
And not
accomplished
only that,
runners.
Absolutely.
Right. It's that training, so it's what should your workout look like, but then it's also the first couple weeks, people are, oh, my shins hurt. What do I do?
They're supposed to
here
hurt.
you see what you're going to do. And we do, very specific warm-ups to prevent injury. But we've got injury prevention specialists that come. We've got a nutritionist involved. So it's not just the actual training to run. It's all those other components, too.
And your shins
got
might hurt.
strength. Absolutely.
They might,
calf might be hurt.
because they're not used to that
Right.
Yep.
motion at this point in time.
But you guys have the answers,
We
just
have
through
we
experience.
have all the
We have
answers.
the
Yeah, you
answers
both have
for all
a
of
ton
that.
of experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've assembled a team of professionals around us as well that are very familiar with running, running injuries, injury prevention, the nutrition aspect, stretching. We've got some trainers, athletic trainers that are going to come out and work with us.
All right. Group runs. So all starting March
17th
Yep.
at the crossings
Yeah.
in Colony. We've got a 12:30 p.m., a 5:30 p.m., and a 6:30 p.m. group on Mondays. And then we're also going to meet on Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. in the Colony Town Park.
All right.
And one thing women should know, too, is there are a lot of women that they may have had gastric bypass. They may be a cancer survivor. They may have, broken a leg and said, you know what, I don't think I can run because, I've got pain in my knee or whatever. We have had everything you can think of.
Right.
They've come out and they've gone across that finish line. So I really can't come up with a lot of great excuses for them not to give it a go and not to at least try. And there's a couple women that they will not ever run, but they walked it.
So they walk it.
And they'll walk it
come,
fast.
and we have a sport walking if they want to do that. So it is that it's so fantastic to be there when they do their first mile. And they're in tears because they've never gone 2 miles straight, and they just did it. And there's a lot, and there's a lot of the women share, and they support each other.
And we've had finishers in the run from 8 to 91 years old. So anybody really can do it.
It's another good point you make. There's no shame in trying, but having to walk. If somebody has to walk in the course, they're not going to be alone.
No,
Right, no.
and that's what we tell
Not by a
everybody
long
too.
shot.
And most women, am I going to be last? And I say, no,
Most
pretty
likely
much
not.
when you train with us,
Yeah.
no,
No, you're not
because
gonna be
they're the people who haven't done any training at all, and you're going to turn around and go, whoa, I can't believe how many people are behind me.
Big concern you hear, and you guys have heard it, people say, well, running's bad for your knees.
That's not what studies say.
That's, yeah.
I mean, they say now,
to
really,
the contrary,
for arthritis. I mean, they've actually done studies on runners' knees, and runners' knees are healthier than non-runners' knees. So yeah, my mom used to try and pull that one on me.
And your knees are fine. You guys have run thousands of miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's probably a right way and wrong way to do it.
Absolutely.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, we do some form clinics and things like that for the participants as well.
And starting now allows these women to advance gradually.
Absolutely.
It allows them
Right.
the luxury of stepping it up gradually.
We want to make sure people are exposed to every potential weather condition. So if we start in March, you know, we're pretty much assured of that.
Yeah.
And which it really does happen. I mean, we have rain and snow and sleet and hot sun, and you know, and you want to train in those.
Do you advise? Okay, well, you actually put together groups, so you find it easy. I mean, you know, do you advise finding a friend to run with you, and does that make it easier?
That always makes it easier, having, you know, being accountable to somebody that you already know.
Right.
But if you don't have somebody to come out and run with, you know, you're certainly going to meet some people. You know, we had 400 women last year, so you're bound to meet somebody that's going to notice if you're not there the next week.
Right.
And the downside, you have to acknowledge that friend you pick to run with, they may bail out.
They may bail out.
And
they
you have
may
to push through.
They may go faster than you. They may go slower than you. They might drop out. And that's one of the things we do stress is, you know, you got to run your own race on race day.
All right, tell people again, how can they register? When do they have to get moving?
The price for the 5K actually goes up on March 1st, so I would suggest getting moving in the next 48 hours. And go to freihofersrun.com, and they can find out all the information there.
And when you sign up,
challenge.
For the race, there's a line item that says sign up for the Freihofer's Training Challenge. So you do both at the same time, and then you can get signed up for the challenge. So they can get it all done one shot, nice and easy. And they get a shirt with the training challenge. We often do goodies.
All kinds of good
fun things. So yeah, there's definitely some great incentives.
Thanks so much for joining us. Kristen Hislop and Patrick Lynskey with the Freihofer's Run for Women.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Yep, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. I'm Phil Bailey. We'll see you next week.